Welcome back to Phil's Kitchen. Okay, today we're going to have a really special treat for you. You moms who have trouble getting your kids to eat vegetables, well, this might be one of the solutions. So let me get started with the ingredients that are going into this dish. It's called cheesy cauliflower pasta. I know some of y'all don't like cauliflower, but you'd be surprised how delicious this is when we get finished. So give it a shot, and here we go with the ingredients. Start out with a head of cauliflower. You might not need the entire head, and the way you'll figure that out is we're using a blender. I'm going to blend this later on, and you know, if you're getting to where you're getting to the top of the blender and you got too much cauliflower in there, well, you know, you can take some out. You can also use the bags of cauliflower to come pre-cut up, and those bags would probably be the perfect size for a dish like this with a blender. Second ingredient is a white onion, and we cut that into 4 quarters. So there's 4 quarters involved. It's really not necessary to be in 4 quarters, but I just cook better that way. We got a quart of milk. I have it just warming up back here, and I don't want to turn up the heat too much because it'll scald the milk. And that'll bring us to, we have a steamer here, which we're gonna steam the cauliflower and the white onion so that we don't have to keep it in the milk too long to where the milk gets scalded and has the skin on it, and it's just not appetizing. Other ingredients, we got dried spaghetti, so we're gonna cook up some spaghetti for this dish. We got so some other ingredients to go into this dish are, we got a topping that consists of croutons, busted up small, and some Panko breadcrumbs. Put them in a little olive oil, and we brown it, maybe a little garlic too if you like, or garlic powder, garlic salt. In addition to that, we're going to be having some cheese that will go in the blender with the cauliflower and the white onion once it's been in the milk poaching and it's gotten nice and tender. So that's the ingredients. I mentioned that we will be putting it over we're using dried spaghetti, and that'll cover the ingredients. So what we're going to do is start out, we're going to turn this steamer on. I got a little steamer tray in here, and so we will put our cauliflower and our white onion in this nice steamer tray, and then we will cover it and turn it up. And once we'll let this go for a while, and then when we come back, we'll get our cauliflower and white onion into the milk and start to poach it. Okay, welcome back. Now we're about to finish up our steaming. We've been in this steam basket for approximately 15-20 minutes. Could be, doesn't have to even be that long. There's no time involved here. I'm just trying to get it pre-softened for the milk. Now the milk has been back here warming. I haven't had any real heat on the milk yet, and I'll turn it up a little bit once I get everything out of the basket and into the milk to poach. So just to remind you, we've got a whole white onion in here and a whole head of cauliflower. And It's like I said, you don't need a whole head of cauliflower, but like depending on the size of a blender you have, or if you want to use a food processor, you can use more. You can, use more product. You can put more cauliflower in. So anyway, we got it in the milk bath. We need to turn up the heat a little bit, but now just to remind you that we don't want to scald this, so we're going to go like just below medium heat on this burner, and we're going to let this sit in the milk until we can take a fork or a knife and pierce the cauliflower, and it's relatively soft enough to where it'll blend with the other ingredients. So we'll have that going. In the meantime, I'm going to turn the heat on here. We've got a pot of water, salted water, ready to go, and we're going to get this heated up so we can get our pasta going. Pasta usually takes, they say 10 minutes or 8 minutes. That's not true. I've never cooked pasta in 8 minutes. It takes longer than that. And the only way of knowing if your pasta's cooked properly is taking strands out and tasting them. And the Italians use something called to the tooth, al dente. And when you can still bite the spaghetti and it doesn't mush in your mouth, then you got perfect. So take it out and you're ready to eat. And when we were kids, my dad was the al dente man. He was the one who, he was the tester. And sometimes it takes more than one or two to get it right. But anyway, we're going to turn the heat up on here, and then we'll get our pasta cooking. And by the time the pasta cooks, we should be ready to go to the blender. And then this way everything should be timed out properly. So when we come back, we'll be ready to go to the blender and get our rest of our ingredients put together. All right, welcome back. So we left off, we were steaming or poaching our cauliflower and our white onion in a milk bath. That's a quart of milk, by the way. I didn't mention that in the beginning with the ingredients. So we do need a quart of milk. I use whole milk for this recipe. We cooked the spaghetti, and that's sitting here in this little steamer pot. I've got a little bit of steam coming in just to keep everything, from drying up. But next, we're gonna transfer our pot of cauliflower and white onion and milk into our blender, and we will get that going in just a second. Okay, welcome back to Phil's Kitchen, Phil's Cucina, sorry. We're gonna finish up this dish, and I took the ingredients from the milk bath, and ladled it into a blender, and ladled in some of the hot milk too. We still have some hot milk here, and if this turns out too thick when we blend it, we'll just add some more hot milk in there. The other thing that goes in now is our cheese. So I'm going to start out with a couple of cubes in there, and then we're going to go to blending. This is going to get loud, so put your earmuffs on. All right, what do we want? So we're going to want a smooth consistency. Okay, so I didn't put all the cheese in because I want it to get down into the cheese. Needs to melt, so it needs to be, well, I lost one. It's okay. All right, so we will blend this again. Forgive me, I haven't put any seasoning in here yet. So, before I forget, we're going to go with, I'd say a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of black pepper, and let's go with 2 teaspoons of salt, and we will fire this back up again, and then we'll check the consistency. Okay, so now, oh, that looks really delicious. So I'm going to put a spoon in here, and we have a good consistency here. We don't need any more milk. Matter of fact, well, actually I do have more cheese. I'm going to put a little more cheese in here. I want to just thicken this up just a little bit more. So I'm going to go to the refrigerator, grab some cheese. Hold on. Okay, so I've got some shredded cheese here, shredded cheddar. I'm going to go ahead and put like maybe another cup of cheese in here, a cup of shredded cheese, and we will hit it one more time. All right, let's check it out again and see what we got here. Oh yeah, this is much thicker and actually perfect consistency for this dish. Perfect. So that is basically how to put this together, and what I'll do is I'm going to put the spaghetti on a platter. And let's see, here we go. Yeah, so this can feed like I used a whole package of pasta, and like you could feed a whole family with this. I mean, no problem. And like I said, you know, to get your kids to eat a vegetable, this would be a great, you know, great way to do it. So what we're gonna do is take this blender and we're gonna pour this beautiful cheesy sauce all over the spaghetti. Now you can also do this with macaroni, you know, rigatoni, ziti, anything like that. You could also put this over rice. Delicious. That would be delicious too. All right, so Look at that, we've got almost a half a blender left. And this is a pretty large platter here. Also, I have these breadcrumbs that I browned up. They are seasoned. They're seasoned Pankos and some croutons that were seasoned. And we just added a little olive oil to this and browned it up. And that, now normally what I do is just put these on the table. I want to do a nice presentation for everybody here. But normally I just put the breadcrumbs on the table in a bowl, and this way you, if you'd like to put them on your dish, you can. And if you choose not to, you don't. So there it is. Cheesy cauliflower pasta, and perfect for any night, very quick. You don't have to steam. If you don't have a steam basket, don't worry. Just go in the milk, but take it slow. Go at a low temperature on the stove and just let the milk heat up gradually. And then, you know, when you get to the point where you can put a knife in easily into the cauliflower, then you're ready to go. But like I said, you don't need the steam. I just use that as a quick method of getting things started real quick. So anyway, have a great evening. Don't forget, subscribe and like and comment if you have a comment.